Arsenal have a midfield crisis, ladies and gentlemen. And today we need to do some crisis management. We need to discuss this as Arsenal fans and try to figure out. Oh, you see, I'm even having audio crises. I got things go and play in the background. I got a wonderful panel for you guys today, and we're going to be discussing everything about the midfield situation. Martin Odegaard is out. Declan Rice is out. We already know he got a red card, and Mikel Merino's out. Meaning we need to figure out what we're going to do with our midfield with three key players potentially out for the North London derby. And Martin Odegaard could potentially be out for longer, as he's been spotted with wearing with what do you call it? What do you call those? He had crutches on, yeah. So he had crutches on as he was entering the flight to come back to Canada. Why did I say Canada? I mean London. I'm losing my mind, guys. This whole situation has had me stressed. Yesterday I didn't sleep. I don't know what's going to happen in this North London derby. How will this midfield situation affect the North London derby? Can Arsenal overcome the midfield mayhem? This is a little bit of a North London derby preview. This is the second preview we're doing of the week. We're going to be doing multiple previews for the rest of the week. And of course, you got people saying Ethan Nwaneri is better than Ødegaard. No, he is not. Stop it. But yeah, let's get this show started. Please do hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 30K subscribers. So as you guys come in, please do make sure you guys do hit that like button right now. And yeah, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen, just the right way. Yes, people. So I got my right-hand man, Gunnar Souls, who's going to be with me today on the stream. Big up to you, Gunnar Souls. Hope you're doing well. Everything good?
I'm very well, mate. Raheem gave me a dream. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We got Big Shaq in the building. Shaquille, what are you saying, bro?
Yep. There, man. They are looking forward to discuss this nightmare, man.
There you go. We got Dylan in the building, very pessimistic himself right now, but he's still optimistic for the derby.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good Emery impression. And then we got Mark all the way from Scotland doing his thing. Mark, what are you saying?
Big up, girl. Thanks for having us on, bro.
Yeah, man. And then we're also gonna have Deo joining us. And if people want to join from the chat, we will have to mob it out. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, we got a situation, and the situation is not good. The situation is not good. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have to mob it out. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. But on the side note, before we talk about all the negatives, can we just get some of the bullshit out of the way? Let's just get some of this bullshit out of the way. Did you guys hear Tottenham and the Premier League basically said they don't want Arsenal to come to the what do you call it, the new White Hart Lane wearing their home kit this season? They're like, it's going to cause a clash. The exact quote: Arsenal will wear their black kit for the North London derby. The Premier League have ruled that the home kit features too much white, therefore causing a kit clash with Tottenham. Since when?
Utter woke nonsense. That's what that is. It's absolute
Since
rubbish.
When? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like they don't like us wearing our home kits at their ground because we're getting too comfortable. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, you wear black to a funeral, so that's what it is.
Woo! Man's got bars. Man's got bars. Man's got bars. Shaq, what are you saying? Let's just get this out of the way. Any thoughts on it?
It's just ridiculous. Like, we've always worn our home kit there. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know what to put that down to, but pure nonsense, man. Absolute pure nonsense. Honestly, man.
All right. And then, Mark, you got any thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, I just think it's a beautiful kit, so I don't really care. We'll look brilliant when we beat them, so I'm happy either way, bro. But it's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Fair enough. The next thing is we've got a ruling from the independent body that reviewed the referee's decision. So this is what's happened. The Premier League have gotten an independent key to basically panel to look over Kavanaugh's decision, and they found it that Declan Rice, was he doing it a gentle touch Sorry, let me just
Ødegaard. It was a yellow card.
No, Souls, if you could just read
Yeah,
this part.
Rice knows what he's doing. It's a gentle touch, but once the referee sees it, he has no choice. But the 5-man panel, in a unanimous agreement, that Rice's actions were clear, deliberate, and impactful.
It's a joke, man.
He's right.
It's not a joke. It is true. I think what people are thinking about is that, is it a red card? But the question is it a yellow card offence? And that's the case that needs to be made. And in my opinion, it's a second yellow, which resulted in the red card.
My thing is these incidents happen multiple times throughout the games, throughout every week, and they don't call it. The level of consistency from the top down is what's annoying me.
People speed, but the one time you speed, you get caught. It's still a speeding offence. It doesn't matter just because 10 other people got away with it. You're still wrong for doing what you did.
That's true. Do you know what though? It is annoying, yeah, because for me, it's a nothing incident, man. Do you know how many times I see players kick the ball away, or they'll pick the ball up? Do you know what I mean? They'll back up a few yards, then throw it back to the opposition. Like, people do that all the time. Do you know what I mean? So it's a nothing incident. But at the end of the day, what's done is done. We should have won that game for the chances we had, anyways. Let's move on. Honestly.
And also, what's annoying is, right, like, I was in the ground. Obviously, it's annoying when you're at the stadium. You feel like you're hard done by. From the moment Declan Rice came out in the interview and said it was yellow card, fair enough, I'm going to have to take this, blah, 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 blah. I think the whole conversation needs to end there. From that point on, it's just forced, boring conversation. It's obviously a yellow. Whatever he got the first yellow for, I can't even remember. Oh, whether or not João Pedro, their striker, got a yellow card, like, it's completely irrelevant. He wouldn't have got a second. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, he got a red card, isn't it? It's annoying. And it's his own fault. And he knows that, which is why he came out in the interview. So I don't know why it's even like a topic of debate. Or was it a yellow? Was it a red? Like, it's a second yellow card. It's a sending off. And it's not ideal. It's not ideal, especially with the game we got on the weekend. But what can we do? What can we do, man?
There you go. We're gonna get into it. Mark, do you got anything to say on this before I clear?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think it was. They were briefed at the start of the season to say the way the restart, it's a yellow card. He's kicked the ball away, it's a yellow card, it's sending off. For me personally, our mentality, even as supporters, need to rise. We're on the brink of winning the Premier League, and if we are dwelling over this, then what are we doing? We know the inconsistencies of referees. We'll have to live with it. Arsenal Football Club is a pure yellow card, but it is a yellow card. But we are going to get these decisions against us. So for me, take it on board, take your chances. We're not talking about that yellow card. Simple as that.
All right. Arsenal Twitter went up in flames when they found out who the referee is on VAR for the North.
Oh, Jesus Christ! We're still doing this.
My question to you guys is: do you care?
No.
We should be concerning ourselves with what the hell we're going to do with our midfield. That's what we should be doing.
I swear to you, I've never heard this guy's name in my life. I promise you, I've never heard this guy's name in my life.
Stuart Atwell on VAR. No. The question is, do you care who's on VAR? Do you care who the referee is?
No.
Fair enough. I like this.
Each other. It's just the game's the game. Like, start playing on a Sunday league pitch and blaming the pitch.
Listen, I'm just telling you what the news is. You got people saying Arsenal fans are crying to cancel the game and cancel the season because they found out.
Oh, no one said that on the whistle. Embarrassing.
Yeah, there's people saying that. But yeah, before we move on to the next topic is actually going to be Martin Odegaard. So let's get into our Martin Odegaard stuff. Did you guys see the most recent picture of Martin Odegaard? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is it the one with his ankle in the actual hospital or something, or
he's not looking good? He's not wearing a shoe and he's in crutches.
That's if you've not seen one after that. His ankle.
This is the latest one I see.
Yeah, his ankle's actually swollen up. Yeah. You can actually he's actually shown his ankle.
I seen the photo. I don't know if I want to put it on YouTube, but it's basically a golf ball.
You're not going to get censored for that photo again. It's a bit of skin.
No, but it's basically a golf ball.
Yeah.
You could imagine a golf ball.
I would call it a tennis ball. To be honest, but it is not good. It is not good.
You know what? Let's just talk about your. There's a bunch of you guys I haven't actually had a conversation with, so I want to know, Shaq, Dylan, what are you guys saying? First thoughts. Martin Odegaard gets injured because I already spoke to Souls and Mark about this yesterday, and I just want to hear your thoughts before we keep it moving.
It's jarring, isn't it? I don't know. The problem with Martin Odegaard is we actually haven't got a replacement for him. All the other ones, like you could almost name any position on the pitch, and we have half a replacement other than Saka. Odegaard, nothing close. Nothing comes close. I mean, you got me. I play Havertz there at the weekend. I play Havertz in that position. I think Havertz is the closest thing we've got in terms of finding the space, picking the pass, being somewhat a threat, and like, I don't know. I think Havertz is the closest thing we've got to Ødegaard, but yeah, that is a serious miss. Honestly, we have to pray he's back for the Etihad because we don't win it. Tottenham, we can. Oh man, it's going to be hard without our captain.
Do you know what, guys? Yeah, this just goes back to the transfer window. This goes back to the transfer window because when I said, you know what, we didn't get the players that we needed, we didn't get the quality or the covering positions that we needed, I was told, you know, it's underwhelming, but you know, we got players in each position that we needed to get. No. That situation, obviously, we had Smith Rowe. When we had him, Arteta didn't want to use him. Now he's gone. Okay, cool. What other creative midfielder, what other creative 8 or 10 do we have? We let Fabio, even though I don't rate him at all, I'm kind of glad that he's gone, but we had Fabio Vieira, let him go alone. Okay, cool. Where's the replacement? When I was saying to people, obviously, look, Mikel Merino, obviously he's injured now, but when I was saying to people, listen, we needed 2 midfielders, but if we are going to get 1 midfielder, we need to get a creative midfielder. This left-hand side is not good enough, and having someone who, what's the stat? You got one of the most duels in Europe or something like that. That's not what we need on the left-hand side. We need someone that can unlock Martinelli, la-di-da-di-da. People didn't want to hear it. So bottom line is, yeah, it goes back to the transfer window. That's number 1, yeah. Number 2, I do not want to see Havertz in that midfield. That guy is ghost. He is Casper.
Yeah, he's awful in midfield. Terrible. But in the 10, I think he's a different case.
Want him. He will put in the work and put in some challenges, but he's not someone that shows the ball and dictates play. If anything, do you know what I mean? He will show. I don't know what he does, but he probably run past Havertz. He probably runs past the striker and whatnot. But he's not a 10 like that. That's gonna create for you. This is why for me, but keep him at centre forward. For me, that's the only position that he plays. Do you know what I mean? Because he could be very, very awkward for defenders from that 9, running into spaces where defenders don't want to go into. In the number 10, hell no. And I'll be honest with you guys, Jorginho and Partey, I think that's a decent enough pivot. What we're gonna do with that 3rd midfield position, I have no goddamn idea. I'll be very honest with you, because it's not like, obviously, people, the first name that will come to mind is Nwaneri, right? Now, cool. He looks good. He looks tidy on the ball. This is not a time to be bringing him in. I wanted him to be part of the first team squad this season, yeah, but put him in a position where we actually have to rely on him. No, he was a player where if he's going to get some minutes, we had to choose his minutes carefully. North London derby is just not it. But if he has to play there, we'd go with a double pivot and a 10.
When would you play him? When would you play him? Because I was asked the same question yesterday.
Yeah. And
I agree with you. I just want to know, when would you play him? Because we've seen Kobe Mainoo get thrown in the fire against Liverpool a year ago. We've seen Miguel Sarr, whatever his name is, the guy at Tottenham, Sarr get thrown in the North London derby under Antonio Conte. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, we threw Emil Smith Rowe in against Chelsea at home, a big game. So sometimes these kind of moments, you throw in a big player, it could be something that makes their career.
Do you know what? That is a fair point, but the brother is 17. Like, he's got no experience in men's. He's got no experience in men's football. Like, Smith Rowe actually played. I'm pretty sure Smith Rowe actually played Europa League minutes under Unai Emery. And I'm pretty sure we sent him out on, even though he got injured or whatnot, like he had actually been out on loan. So it's like Nwaneri just has no men's experience.
Nwaneri can't go out on
loan. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit. Every single Arsenal fan, or I'd say 99% of Arsenal fans, were saying, we let Martin Odegaard go. We need to start giving the youth an opportunity. Arteta hates the youth. Yeah. We now have an opportunity to play the youth, and we're now like, no. Everyone needs to make their minds up. Do we want the youth to play, or do we want them to fuck off? At the end of the day, if you're old enough, You're good enough. Lamine Yamal
Is Ethan ready?
Yeah.
No.
So
Let me
it's not.
finish
It's
my
not.
point. Let me finish my point. Lamine Yamal at 16 in a toxic. By the way, this is the toxic Barca era, and Lamine Yamal at the age of 16 is carrying that football club. And we're talking about Ethan Nwaneri that's coming into a title challenging Arsenal
So
in
you
the
would
most
throw.
positive stadium. I don't care what the occasion is. If you're good enough, and if this is what the club wants,
How do you know he's good enough? How do you know he's
I
good
don't
enough?
care. If you can sell ESR, you can sell Fabio Vieira, and you go and sit there and promote the only other person who can play that position and say that's
So
saying he's
if
good
it
enough
goes,
to play.
so if it goes wrong, you want to demolish any confidence this guy's got by throwing him in his first ever game, starting him in the North London derby away. Without
That's not a me problem, though.
without the proper midfield around him. Do you think
No.
that's
At the
good
end
enough?
of the day, look, if Ethan Nwaneri wants an opportunity, if you're an actual, this is the thing, right? If you've got the mentality and the bottle to make it at the top, you're thriving in these
But
opportunities.
you don't just throw him into the lines.
No, that's exactly what you do.
No,
That's
you
your
don't.
only
No,
opportunity.
you don't.
Yes,
No,
you do.
don't.
Okay, if Ødegaard's fully fit, does this guy even touch this team? No. So now's your opportunity. Take it. That's what an elite player does. That's what an elite mentality of a player, regardless of your age. If you're going to make it to the very top, this is your opportunity. You either take it or you sink. And that's just the reality of it. I am not here to coddle. I'm not here to baby players into becoming good enough. This is your opportunity. You either take it or you ask for a loan. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely not.
So Arsenal fans, would you start Ethan? Because we got super chat here from John. Big up John. He's saying Ethan starts. He's our Mainu. He could be our Zachariah Emery.
No, I hear it. I actually hear it. Like, I hear both sides. I hear like it's probably too early. I think in a team sense, in terms of how we want to perform and the result we want to get out of it, I think it would be slightly detrimental to play him. But I think for his career and for him, I don't see any way this is a bad idea. You put him in at Spurs away, and these are the opportunities you grow up dreaming of. And if he gets that opportunity to start in North London derby away from home for Arsenal, it's as big as it gets, bruv. Like, if you're good enough, you're old enough, play the game.
This could make or break him, though.
Mate, you're living your mouths whipping at bins against France in Euro semi-finals. But you're telling me 17-year-old Nwaneri can't, you know what I mean, play a game, play half.
Generational talent. This absolute brilliant thing to come out of our academy. All of a sudden, he's not good enough. As soon as an opportunity arises, he's now not good enough. This is why
I'm not saying he's not good enough. I just wouldn't do it to him. I would not do that to him. I'm not breaking
do that to him, mate. He will. Top players with the right mindset want this.
Yeah.
If he's got anything about him, he'll be dreaming of starting in that game. He'll probably be working hard and training this week because
what's your concern? Is your concern he fails, or is your concern that he's not ready? What is it?
My concern is that if it doesn't go well, what it does to him mentally, and I'll bring him back.
Have you thought about the opposite? If it goes well,
if it goes well, then brilliant.
What it could mean for our season?
Yeah, no, it succeeds. I want to see this guy get game time. I want to see it. I watched Lewis Skelly in the under-21s, and this guy is banging, by the way, in midfield for the under-21s. I watched him. He is ready, almost ready to come in. But would I throw Lewis Skelly into our midfield even during the crisis? No, I wouldn't. Not even close, because I do not want to damage your careers.
So what is he here for? Why did we send out Fabio and keep him if we're not going to use him?
Fabio Vieira's injured, bro.
Because we're not using
besides the point, he was sent out on loan. If we're going to send out Fabio but keep him, that means Arteta has plans to play him.
Yes.
If there's ever been a time to play him, if you think he's good enough, now's the time.
Right, okay, you're absolutely right. If he is good enough, and I want him to see him get the minutes, absolutely. But first start, North London derby, away from home, come on.
All right, Mark, you know all I'm hearing? You did not rate him as highly as a lot of people did over the summer. People hyped this guy to the moon. People agreed with the decision that Ethan's going to be. If you become the understudy, you've got to be ready. And this is unfortunate. As unfortunate as this is your occasion to rise to the occasion. You have to wait for an injury. Martin Odegaard is not going to come out of this team unless he's injured. And that's the reality of the matter. Now, you either take your opportunity, the same as Cesc Fabregas has, the same as Lamine Yamal, the Pedris, the Gavis, Vinicius Juniors, all of these guys in their early teens, right, took these opportunities. And guess what? Look at Bellingham, for example, made a massive move to Real Madrid and became a star in his first season. If you're good enough, you're old enough. If you've got the mentality, you've got the bottle. And that's what I'm asking of him. If Ethan Nwaneri is what every 1 second, I'm about to finish. If Ethan Nwaneri is as good as what Arsenal fans made him out to be this summer, then he's good enough to start this game. That's all I wanted to say.
By the way, there's a super chat here from Anime Fanatics. Fanatic? Is that it? Yeah. Big up to you, Anime Fanatic. I don't know which anime that is in your
Yes,
picture.
he does have to win something this season. Or
there you go.
yes.
Does Arteta need to win something this season? How long can we keep coming in second? You're nearly team. Honest question, no trolling. I agree. We do need to win something this season, but I want to win the main things. I don't want to just settle for an FA Cup. We didn't get this team to build this all the way to this level just to settle for an FA Cup or a League Cup. Whatever we do, it should be we should be aiming for the majors this season, minimum. That's me. But overall, I do agree. We do need to win something. Coming in second every single season.
If we don't, we go.
Coming in second every season is not acceptable. We do need to improve and kick on from that. Hence why we've had major changeover in the squad, and a lot of people have been shifted in and out. And yeah, people making fun of my reading, guys. I'm dyslexic. Allow me. You know what I mean? I'm literally trying my best. But yeah, what do you guys got to say on this topic though? Before we keep it moving.
It's not Arteta. Edu's the first thing that he has to go tomorrow. He had to go yesterday. He had to go last year. So the minute if Edu's still at this club, when we go even get Pep Guardiola, I still don't believe this team's going to do shit. This club is not going to go anywhere until Edu goes. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not Arteta's biggest fan, yeah, but I've been saying I want to get rid of Edu for a long time. I want to get rid of Edu long before Arteta. Long time. Even though I'm not his biggest fan. And really, just to add on to the question that obviously the super chat, he should have been winning something. And obviously, Gal, I'm a little different. As much as like Premier League, the Champions League, like that's the be one end all, innit? But I want to challenge you winning everything, man. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not good coming second and you're getting knocked out in the third, fourth round of the FA Cup. That's not good enough, man. I need to see us winning multiple things. I'm sorry, but this manager is in debt. He is in debt. I need to see multiple things. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not gonna win the Prem, then I need you to win. Get me a cup double. Give me a cup double. At least do that for me.
Okay.
But the thing is, I hear Arteta needs to win. But is it that Arteta needs to win, or is it the fact that the team, you guys can finally see how close it is, and you just want us to get over the line, and you're putting a lot of the pressure on the manager? But if the manager is changed today, that doesn't necessarily guarantee us to win.
Like, Egal, can I come in on this? ESPN put out a tweet a couple of weeks back, and it was the top 10 managers in the world. Arteta was fourth on the list. Fourth on the list of that. He has 10 months left on his contract. How about he decides, Edu and the board, you didn't give me the tools that I require to push on with the squad and actually win stuff, and he decides to piss off and head off to Barcelona. How about that? And where are you guys then? Where are you guys then? It's just, honestly, I cannot take the Arteta talk. I really can't take it. It is nonsense. If you were in the trenches and support this club long enough, 21 years we went through pain. If you even go back to 2020, when we got beat just before December to Everton 2-1, we were sitting in 16th place, looking like we could get relegated. And you look from that to this day, bro, don't give me bro, because honestly, any Arteta talk and I lose my shit.
Yeah, but you say this, but he's done a great job. He's done a great job of taking us from C to B. He's got to take us from B to A now. And if he's not the man, then he's got to go. If he can't win any,
but he has to be. He has to get the tools. He has to get the tools, or how's he going to do it?
He has to get the what?
The tools to do it.
Mate, he's been given nearly £1 million.
If you ask
£1 billion, no, he's been given 720 million, bro. And Pep Guardiola
spent lots of fucking money.
Billion. Pep Guardiola, the best manager in the world, spent 1.2 billion. So on top of a double winning side that inherited, Arteta came in and had to pay his best players off. Bro, you look like you're not even old enough to realise that we've actually won trophies.
Mate, if you're happy
Honestly,
being second forever, that's you in it. But I go to games every week. I don't know how I feel about forevermore spending my money to go home and away every week for us to win absolutely nothing in return with all the money we spend on this club. I don't know how I feel. Might be different for you, but for me personally, yeah.
100%. And another point is this, yeah. Put the Premier League campaigns aside, yeah, and the One Champions League campaign aside, yeah. This manager has failed in 11 different competitions, yeah. FA Cups, League Cups, Europa Leagues, losing to teams, yeah, that are not as good as us, yeah. When we got knocked out by Sporting in the Europa League, yeah. Don't get me wrong, decent team. They've got a decent manager. Big clubs are looking at him as well. All of that stuff. That season we challenged for the league title. I'm sorry. If our squad is good enough to challenge for the league title, it was good enough to win the Europa. He failed in that. He failed against Olympiacos. He failed against Villarreal. In the FA Cup, okay, cool. Third round, Liverpool, that was always going to be difficult. But should have won that game. The other teams, I can't even remember who we got knocked out by, but I guarantee you we were better than them. Couldn't get past them. And that's the problem. When you've seen the manager fail over and over and over and over and over again, I'm sorry, that is a problem. How much does a man have to show you, hey, I can't get over the line in anything for you to actually have the thought to say, do you know what? Maybe this guy might not be good enough. How many times? How many scrubby teams have to beat us before we realize, hey, there's something wrong here? You know, we should have, and hold on one second. We should have won back-to-back league titles. I don't care what anyone tells me, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone tells me. We were in a position to win the league both times, and we should have. And if we go back to last season, what did he do against Aston Villa? What did he do against Bayern Munich? He puts Havertz back in that midfield where he flopped for the first half of the season. It's like, I don't know what this manager is. I don't know if this manager is learning fast enough. I saw one final thing. I saw when we beat Man City 1-0, yeah, I saw Havertz have a cameo in centre forward. This was earlier in the season, yeah. I think he got the knockdown for Martinelli, scored, deflection, whatever. 1-0, we beat Man City. Why did it take you so long for you to then put Havertz back in the centre forward? Is these little things, yeah, these little mistakes that the manager makes? It's like, bro, I'm sorry, but get over the line and something. Do you know what I mean? There's a red team in Manchester. They want their manager out, and they've at least got over the line in 2 cups in 2 years.
And they've won a trophy both years since he's been
Crazy.
there.
Guys, 1 second. I lose all respect. I lose all respect for everything you just said. The moment you try to compare us to Man United, you've lost all credibility.
Why? Why?
Because 1 second.
Why?
Are you not striving? Are you not trying to win in every competition? You said that to me 2 seconds ago, and then you're comparing us to a team that is absolute bums in the Champions League, getting knocked out in the group stages, going down to Europa League and getting knocked out there, and then getting bounced around by every other club in the Premier League like they're whores. And you're talking to that. You're comparing us to them. Yes, they won. Yes, they won 2 cups. Yes, they won 2 cups.
Yeah. No, but Gal, you can't negate that though.
1 second.
Can't negate that.
1 second. Yes, they won 2 cups. You got to give them credit for that. But outside of that, their seasons have been utter failures, and they've been horrific seasons. If Arsenal finished in the level of points that they finished on, with the goal difference they finished on, and everything they finished on, we'd be back in our banter era. Yes, they're winning FA Cups, but it's paper ribbon cracks. We are a much better team. We're one of the best teams in this goddamn league. Yes, we haven't won the domestic cups. We haven't won the league yet, but we're heads and shoulders above those guys. Don't compare us to Manchester United, because that's where your standards and your credibility gets thrown out the window. Because if you want to talk about standards, how dare you compare us to Manchester United?
Okay, that's, do you know what, Gal, that's fine, because I think they're a poor team as well. My point is that we're so good, they're so bad, they will still manage to win 2 trophies in 2 years. How about Liverpool then? Because they're a club, they've challenged for the league. How many times? Failed. At least they get the cups.
Yeah, but they had a better manager than us.
They only started winning cups recently. They weren't winning cups when they were challenging for the Champions League and the league. If you look back at that Liverpool back then, they were never challenging in all competitions. They were actually getting knocked out earlier in those cup competitions than we have under Arteta. So when you are comparing teams, you're comparing a Klopp Liverpool. You're comparing Klopp Liverpool at the end of an era. Bro, you're comparing Klopp Liverpool at the end of an era that was trying to go for a quad that ended up with 2 domestic doubles. You're talking about a Liverpool team that was trying to go for the league, Europa League, and a cup. They win the cup, but they don't win the Europa League. They don't win the they don't win the league. In their aspects, those seasons have been failures. And in my opinion, if Arsenal was to win a domestic cup, it would still not satisfy the need for Arsenal fans, and they would still call this team a failure, in my opinion. Because my main goal and our main goal is to win the goddamn league or the Champions League. Anything less than that, in my opinion, would be considered a major disappointment. But Souls, you wanted to say something?
No, I mean the problem is, right, we didn't accept Arteta's first season, or a lot of fans didn't accept it when he won the FA Cup and finished 8th. He gets bantered for it. But now we want to talk about Man United and the success that they've had in 2 seasons. I can guarantee you one thing: if we finished 8th or 9th but won an FA Cup, none of us are accepting that. So to make a comparison, a false comparison, it's ludicrous to me. Are we now going to start calling Man City a failure because they couldn't beat the Man United team to an FA Cup in the final? Pep going to get it over the line? No. At the end of the day, we are doing what we need. And my problem with this club right now is that Arteta has bled dry this club. He is doing everything that he has to try and get it done with the resources he's getting given. We can evidently see that one complaint that constantly happens is the transfer windows. Are we getting enough? Are we maximizing it? And guess whose job that is? Arteta can only tell you, can you bring me Benjamin Sesko? Can you get me Nico Williams? Can you get me Mudryk? Can you get me Dusan Vlahovic? I can carry on this list.
A whole lot of smelly players.
Well, they can be. But at the end of the day, look, that's his first
if Arteta wanted those players ain't too good, by you. Right. I can't lie to you, you know what I mean? No. Either way.
Say that, Dusty, but you were all
either way.
Let's not even go there. We were all twerking for them. Let's not even try and act like now we want to make a U-turn.
Hey, I'll speak for myself. I was not twerking for no man, but let alone a Sesko or a Nico Williams.
Point being, when you're constantly let down and you're not getting your plan A, everyone said Kai Havertz was shit and everyone's opinions changed. Ben White was shit, everyone's opinion changed. Ramsdale was shit, everyone's opinions changed. Gabriel Magalhaes is a bozo, everyone's opinions change. Zinchenko's a bozo, but now we want to play him in midfield. Every single sign
only because we're in a crisis.
Taking a U-turn because a lot of
I wanted him gone this summer,
right?
But
right. So at the end of the day, look, when you're not getting your plan A's and you're having to pivot every single time, that's when it becomes a board problem and not a manager problem. If Arteta was constantly getting given the players he wants within the budget, by the way, as well, it's not like he's gone off on a crazy budget, go get me £120 million player every single season. He's just not getting his plan A's. So he's having to do with pivot signings that are his plan B or plan C signings. That's where the problem lies. And that's why I'm saying until Edu or Richard Garlick or Vinay or Josh or one of these guys changes, we're not going to succeed.
1 second. We got another super chat from Anime Fanatic. Big up to you. By the way, he's saying, I'm only asking as a Liverpool fan who finished second many times, won a cup, one or two doing it. I can't imagine how draining it is for your players. 100%. But one thing also people need to realize is we still haven't won, so we still have that hunger. I don't think it's as draining as if you've won one, but if you've won one, you somewhat got a little bit of the taste of it, and then you can somewhat be like, you know what, at least I've won something. The fact that they haven't won it yet, and a lot of these players are still young in their careers, I still believe they will have that hunger this season. I'm not saying forever, but they definitely will still have this the energy this season, and they won't be as drained as a 30-year-old Van Dijk or Mo Salah, who's in his 30s now, and some of these other players that you had at Liverpool. No offense to you guys, but the age bracket of your players is a lot older than the age bracket of our players. So I would expect that to be a big factor in the hunger and the continued improvement and development in the squad should be linear with the age and the profiles of the players that we have. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. I don't know if I went on another tangent, but still staying on the topic, finishing second again. To me, one thing that would be unacceptable is Liverpool win the league over us. Because Arne Slot coming in his first season, and if he comes and beats us to the league, I would say that's unacceptable. Same as if Man City don't win the league and anybody else wins the league besides Man City, it would be unacceptable. The only way I would accept Man City winning the league is if they do a madness like they did the last couple of years and they win it on the 5th time. As for the Champions League, I honestly don't think anybody here expects Arsenal to get knocked out of the Champions League, but that's what I would consider being unacceptable. When I say knocked out in the group stages or the league stages, if we don't get it to the round of 16 and late stages of the Champions League, quarterfinals, semifinals, I would consider that a massive failure also. The domestic cups, we have to see how the team is in those games, but I would still expect major rotations in those, and we should be able to get far in the cups. But this season, just finishing second should not be spoken about. What should be spoken about is trying to compete on all fronts. I know you guys don't think we have the squad for it, but Ødegaard's out, Moreno's out, Declan Rice is out, and we still have a decent enough squad where I think we can beat Tottenham. Like, let's talk about that. Overcoming the midfield problems. I think we, with the team and the players we have available, we still should have enough to beat Tottenham. Or do you think the injuries, and the players missing is going to be the situation that cost us this game? What do you guys say?
I agree with you on that. I don't think we can run away from the game like we did in 2022. I think we just got to stand up and play the game. We're obviously without Ødegaard and Rice. Apart from that, like, we can play with Jorginho. I think Havertz is an awful midfielder, but if you put him in the 10, where he's maybe playing off of a Gabriel,
he's playing like a second striker. That's normal for him.
Yeah, something like that. Just not in midfield, basically. I think this team can function. Listen, it's thin. It shouldn't be this thin. It's a problem. Obviously, we should have signed more players in the market. That's not Arteta's fault. That is the board's fault. Board didn't back him. Board told him, listen, you've had enough money. You've got enough players. You nearly won it last year.
You don't know that. Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they didn't want to just bring in anybody.
No. It's not even that. So I've been reliably told that we had £250 million to spend by the Cronkies. The reality of the reason that we didn't sign players is Eddie's too focused on keeping good relationships with clubs than actually signing a damn player. That's why I'm going to keep harping on, because the amount of knowledge I have on what's happened in the board is why I'm going to keep saying Edu is the biggest problem at this club.
I agree.
Sorry, you're really telling me Edu's prioritizing relationships over signings?
Yes. No, the actual problem, the Cronkies basically said, Arteta wanted money, he wanted this and that, and he didn't get it. Basically.
He did get money.
The man's telling you clearly they've gotten money. Bro, they were willing to spend the money on Nico Williams.
The money was there. Money has never been the issue.
Yeah. What I heard was that the primary target was Sesko. Sesko wanted to sort out his contract before he went
we didn't end up with it. He's rubbish.
Sesko, they're like, okay, let's swan them. Sesko wanted to sort out his contract before he went to the Euros. In that time, Arsenal were under PSR restrictions. Sesko signed a new deal. It never happened. The next thing was Nico Williams was the next primary target. Again, Nico did not want to leave. So Arsenal used the whole entire summer to go for targets that we couldn't actually bring in. We could have brought in Osimhen. That would have made a difference to us. What are you laughing at every time I speak to Gal? Is this guy
he's
going
not
to keep
good,
doing
bro.
this?
Osimhen's terrible,
he's saying Osimhen's not a good player, Mark.
Bro, we can't. Bro, Osimhen, man. Bro, we're trying to win a league.
Yeah, I'm trying to win a league as well.
He just doesn't rate Osimhen. He's not laughing at you.
Osimhen would be brilliant for Arsenal, and it would have been a perfect plan A or plan B for me. It would have been absolutely bang on. It didn't happen. We could have went for Gyökeres, but again, the finances and numbers there were quite high, so I wouldn't have done that. What I think my two targets, me personally, would have been Isak and Kudus. And I think they would have came in and made a major, major difference. The numbers
at the table, Kudus, we can maybe go to West Ham and see what they do, but Isak was never going to get sold this summer.
No, but hopefully maybe the club are holding off for next year. But Kudus, that could have been a big signing and a major signing for Arsenal Football Club, and we've never done it. So, Igal, when you're on the brink, see when we get one Premier League title, I think we'll dominate for a period of time.
Especially with Pep potentially leaving.
Yeah, I think that's possible happening, and I just feel during the summer, the Edu wet us down massively. He wet us down massively. So I miss all on everything that you said. There was options there for me, bro.
By the way, what you're just saying, Team News Tick said 2 days ago that I've been told Isaac is very, very high on Arsenal's list, and is definitely one I expect them to revisit next summer. If Newcastle don't get Europe, I'd imagine he'll be ailing for a move. So that would be the dream at this point, to go and get that next former Real Sociedad piece to the puzzle and add him to the team.
But can we say? I actually want to say this, right? Because this is where it's getting really piss-taking with this club. Now we're going for Isak, who we could have signed prior to going to Newcastle. We could have signed Kudus prior to going to West Ham.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah, like Bruno Guimaraes.
He's right. These are players we should have signed.
These are players, and by the way, we spoke to these players prior to them signing for the clubs that they've gone to.
Bruno Guimaraes had us in his intro video to Newcastle.
We were now talking. Now we're talking doubling the fees. This is why I keep harping on. It's too much evidence that whoever is like. Well, if it comes out that Arteta is also responsible for these failed moves, he can also take his bags and leave. But for me, it's Edu. I do believe it's Edu, and I do believe Richard Garlick's got a part to play as well.
Also,
and that's why I'm going to keep saying they've got to go, because they're not good enough.
One second.
What is this? What do you mean?
1 second. There's also one more thing. Do you guys have a problem with this? Arsenal told Onana and Rafinha they're going to have to come and fight for their place instead of guaranteeing them a starting job. And that's what stopped these two potential signings.
That's fair enough.
Why would you be mad at such a statement? If you're such a big club, you need to fight for your spot. Martinelli needs to fight for his spot right now. Why do we want to?
Would you pull a Chelsea and lie to them?
It's not a Chelsea and lie to them. The point is, even if Onana came right now, right, and Merino came,
he would start.
Hold on. If you brought Onana and Merino, and then you have Ødegaard, you have Partey, you have Rice, you think that he's not going to have to fight for his position? Are you saying that he's better than all those midfielders that we have, and he will take charge immediately? He's going to fight for his position. And they told him the honest truth, and he thinks, you know what? I'm not ready to fight. Right. He doesn't back himself. So let's not do this where because the player is good, we then want to paint this picture that Arsenal messed up by telling them the exact thing that was going to happen. If you tell a player this is what's going to happen, and they show up, hey. If you back yourself, come fight for your spot. If you don't back yourself, go where you feel you can be number one and nobody can challenge you. And hey, and so let's not do this. This
okay, guys. Enough about transfers. Let's get back to one of the main reasons why we're here. How do we overcome the midfield issue with the players that are out? Because a lot of people are going to say to you that with the injuries and the players missing due to suspension, Arsenal now. This game has already been decided due to the midfield deficiencies. Tottenham fans feel like they're the favorites now, and even they themselves have some injury issues with Basuma, but I don't think he starts at this moment in time. So who will step up for Arsenal with this midfield crisis? Who will step up in the North London derby? And I want to know each person's midfield three and why they picked that midfield three. And then we can kind of go from there. So just to start, Souls, what are you saying?
For me, Partey, Zinchenko, Ethan Nwaneri. If you're gonna, you die on the sword that you've made.
No Jorginho at all.
No Jorginho.
Yeah, let him speak now. You asked him to give you a midfield. Let him give you.
No. You gotta challenge.
Yeah. So the reason is right. Number one.
So,
for me,
what'd you say? Partey,
Zinchenko, and Ethan. The reason why I'm doing that is because I am not moving Havertz from where I feel he's pivotal to this team to move him back just because we've got a crisis. It's not going to be good enough in midfield. I need legs, I need mobility, and I need someone who can turn in the half spaces and actually create more transitional opportunities for the likes of Sterling, for the likes of Bukayo Saka, for the Martinelli or Trossard, whoever ends up playing on the wing. And that's what I need. I need athleticism and I need legs in that midfield. And I just don't think Jorginho and Partey are going to be good enough to offer those legs for a sustained period of time. And especially when we're playing against a high press, a high line, I want people to be able to come out of those presses, and I feel that's the best midfield to do it. When you look at Zinchenko for Ukraine, because that's the only sample size that we have, and he plays in midfield, he actually tends to get a goal threat and actually scores a lot as well. So why not try him there? He kind of inverts and plays on the left-hand side. Like, granted, inverting into midfield is a different position to actually playing in a midfield discipline. But at the same time, he has got the ability, even when you see him driving forward into central zone, look at him against Bayer Leverkusen, the goal that he scored. That's the kind of threat he can offer, but he's also got the ability to play in and around the box as well. And that's going to be something that I don't think Spurs can handle. So when we're trying to make a like-for-like midfield where we need to makeshift it, that's how we do it. I don't want to play Jorginho and Partey and go very pragmatic and just sit back on our morals and not, because we're going to have 4 centre-backs anyway. That's more than enough to stop the likes of Son, Ben Johnson and Kuleveski or whoever else they play in that sort of attack, or Richarlison, whoever it may be. And that's my reasonings behind the midfield.
All right, what are you saying, Shaq? What's your midfield 3?
Partey, Jorginho. I actually thought about this not too long ago. Trossard. I just think that, first off, Zinchenko's not a midfielder. I've always said this about Zinchenko. He works, obviously, playing at left back, inverting, being that extra man, playing passes that way. Yeah. If he's in the midfield, I honestly think, he will get drowned out. Because I think for me, when you play in the midfield, do you know what I mean? You need wing mirrors. I don't think that's something that Zinchenko does. Probably, obviously, I get that he plays in midfield, for his nation, but we both know international football and Prem ball is 2 different things. Yeah, I'm having Partey, Jorginho, because I know those are 2 players that can pass the ball forward. And with their high line, do you know what I mean? With players like Martinelli, do you know what I mean? Havertz himself, Saka as well. I do believe that, especially the double pivot of Partey and Jorginho, I do think that they are probably in that situation better at finding players in the transition. Unfortunately, in this game, I do think that we are going to have to be a bit pragmatic. At the end of the day, like I want to win the game, so I'm not concerned about going to the Shy Art lane and dominating them. I'm not concerned. I need 3 points. We know that Spurs, they have glaring weaknesses. Sometimes their midfield gets left open. They push their high line too much. Do you know what I mean? And especially without Van der Ven, I think he's still injured. Especially without Van der Ven. He's back. Well, either way, do you know what? Either way, because even when he is there, obviously they're more susceptible to the high line with him not there, innit? But whether he's there or not, do you know what I mean? We know that defensively these men are weak. They will dominate teams. How many shots?
Could you repeat it just one more time?
1-2 counters against them, you can get that goal, man. Honestly.
So just repeat it one more time. What's your midfield again?
Oh, Partey, Jorginho, and Trossard. And by the way, with the Trossard thing, I'm only choosing him because I just don't trust anyone else there. I'll be very honest with you. I can't give you a technical reason as to why. All I can say is that I don't trust anybody else in that position. So yeah, I'll just go with Trossard and done, man.
All right. People in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. So far we've had 2 completely different midfields. I'm gonna be conventional, and I'm just gonna say, I think this is the lineup Arteta's gonna go with. He's gonna go with Havertz, Jorginho, and Partey.
Don't give a political answer. Give me your thoughts. What would you do?
Your team, not what Arteta will go with.
Okay.
Yeah.
What team would you?
If I was gonna do a predicted 11, that's what I think would have happened. But for me personally, I think it's gonna be Havertz in the 10. I think it's gonna be Partey in the 6, and in the 8. That's where you can experiment. That's the only position.
I get that name. I don't want experiment. I want the name.
Would you play there, Would you play Jorginho there or Zinchenko?
I'm gonna put Timber there.
Timber.
I'm gonna put Timber in the 8, and I'm gonna put call me crazy. Okay. I'm gonna also play Calafiori if he's fit. So you're gonna have Calafiori, Timber, not Zinchenko. You're gonna now have basically. So you're gonna have Timber in the midfield in the 8 and Partey in the 6 with Kai Havertz. So you're now gonna have basically a lot. You're gonna have a lot of defenders on the pitch, but Timber has shown that he can play in that midfield pivot. If I'm gonna be experimental, I don't want Zinchenko on the pitch. That's just me. I don't have no time for Zinchenko.
Yeah, I'm looking like he's not a bad player.
Liability.
He's not a bad player. He's just not very fast in a defensive.
I
On the
don't
ball,
have
I think
time
I'd
for
rather him in
Zinchenko.
midfield than
I don't have
maybe-
time for Zinchenko dilly-dallying on the ball and making mistakes.
But he doesn't do that.
He did.
He doesn't.
Zinchenko
He gets
doesn't
beaten.
dilly-dally on the ball. He gets
injury.
beaten in
He doesn't
defense. That's not
dilly-dally.
He gets
There's a
nervous
difference. Zinchenko
and
really
gives the
loses-
ball away quite a bit. I can't lie.
Zinchenko, no. Zinchenko gets beaten in defense in the left back position, but rarely loses the ball when he has it. He makes more forward passes than a lot of our players when he plays. So let's not do that. Just because he gets beaten in defense and we don't like him defensively, we can't take away from what he contributes offensively to
Yeah,
that team.
I agree.
And sadly, what we've been doing is we nail our players on the head with their weaknesses and just try to whitewash, everything good that they're able
So
to
you're
do.
saying
I'm not
Zinchenko's a
saying-
better 8?
I'm not even going to put Zinchenko in my team if I had to put him, and I have my reasons for not putting him. But I'm not going to sit here and let you guys say, "Oh, he loses the ball all the time."
I don't know what game you guys are watching, but Zinchenko definitely loses the ball a lot.
I don't know about that.
I agree. Especially the bigger cages as well. He gets a little nervous,
I feel like Zinchenko does lose the ball a lot. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I think if you play him in the midfield, he could be susceptible to losing the ball, quite similar to the likes of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who lost the ball quite a lot when he was in the midfield.
This
But
is just getting disrespectfully. Okay, carry on.
It's not being disrespectful.
Can you mention the rate at which he loses the ball? Like once in 10 games, once in 5, once in 3 games, once on every single game.
I don't keep track of every single game.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single minute.
Yeah,
I have seen Zinchenko. I have seen Zinchenko at times.
So does Martin Odegaard, so does Partey, so does
long.
Jorginho, so does Rice, so does every other midfielder.
Every other midfielder loses the ball too. Partey has looked shaky also from the beginning of the first 3 games. Partey has looked shaky. Yes or no? We can all agree, but we know there's a quality player in there.
Okay, so
we're now not going to beat him over the head.
You guys asked me if I would make a change to what Arteta's lineup would be, what I would make, and the change that I'm making is I don't want Zinchenko on the pitch at all.
That's fine. You're making a false narrative.
I'd rather have. I gave you my logic. You disagree with my logic. I gave you my logic.
It's a false narrative. But okay, carry on.
What's the false narrative? If I go back and watch every single goal that we conceded last season,
if we're going off that logic, we don't have a midfield at all because every midfielder gives the ball away.
Nah, bro. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get you the exact game and the exact goal to try to remind you guys of
I'll give you a Martin Odegaard one, and then can you concede to the point that Martin Odegaard needs to be dropped because he loses the ball? I could do that as well.
I didn't say he needs to be dropped. I'm saying Zinchenko is a liability defensively, and if we lose the ball high up the pitch, he's not going to be one of the guys that can counter press.
But we're not talking about him. We're not talking about him playing defensively, Ødegaard. We're talking about playing him in the 8th position where there's Timber behind him, so he's not taking on that defensive responsibility that we're all afraid of.
It's fine that you don't want to. By the way, I have no problem that you don't want to start.
Arteta has
You
also
still have to defend when you play midfield, guys.
I agree.
Just because you play midfield, it doesn't mean you're absolute for defensive responsibility.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying, you're not absolved of responsibility. But the thing is, you are no longer the person who is taking role in that left back now, which is what he was. He was left back inverting, and every time they beat him, he had left his space. They had to drop the ball there. He had to run back. So the difference
Timber playing the 8.
So the difference is if they do that to him now, there's somebody
I have
there.
no
That's all I'm
problem
saying.
with your midfielder guy. All I'm saying is these narratives that get built up because we don't like a player is just not what I'm going to accept.
Souls, the thing is, you think it's a narrative. I genuinely think it's a fact based on what I've seen.
I can make that fact about Ødegaard. I can make that fact about Rice. I can make that fact about every midfielder, but what I'm saying, the rate of which he loses the ball, firstly, he doesn't even play in midfield, he's inverting into midfield from left back, so it's a completely different responsibility of what you're trying to make. But the reality is, when you look at him in different competition where he has played midfield, he doesn't dilly-dally, nor does he lose the ball at that rate. It's probably similar to other midfielders. And that's the point I'm trying to make. It's this narrative that's being created that's just false. Look, I'm not Zinchenko's biggest fan.
Can I ask a question, though? Why did nobody's put Jorginho in their team yet so far?
No legs.
The same reason he gave Zinchenko, because he genuinely can do that. And he's slow on the ball.
No minutes in his legs, and him and Partey together are going to make midfield. So
does anybody have him in their team?
No,
I don't have him in my team as well.
Oh, Dylan.
Nobody has Jorginho in their team.
Dylan, I'd pay him or Zinchenko in that midfield play with Partey.
So what's your midfield three, Dylan?
I put Jorginho or Zinchenko with Partey and Havertz. I put Havertz in the 10. Havertz not in midfield. Havertz up in the 10. Once I got 4-4-2.
This is going to be a 4-2-3-1 situation where like whoever plays the 10 is going to become a central 10 more than like a traditional 4-3-3.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not the manager, so I'm not going to comment.
That's what I think as well.
Leave the manager to it.
No,
Hey, listen,
agree.
if we really wanted to, we've got enough
Diamond.
centre backs, we've got enough defenders. We could just make a centre back FC. Let's go.
Do you think we would play a diamond midfield?
We could do. It can
Saka
work.
could basically be like the right midfielder.
No. Let's not.
Let's
stop.
not overcomplicate this too
Saka's
much.
best player
Yeah,
is playing in the
4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Let's not overcomplicate it too much.
No, because I have been seeing people saying Saka's basically on that whole right-hand side anyways.
Yeah, but he needs to stay on the wing. He needs to be the winger. He's the creative outlet out wide, and that's what we need him to do.
Okay, so far, majority of you guys all have Partey in the 6, and some of you have Havertz, some of you have Trossard, some of you have Ethan. Not many Jorginho
Actually,
shots.
I'm the only one who said Ethan, so I'm on my own, but I'll take it.
Anybody else backing me with the
I'm not
Timber?
going to say Jorginho as well.
Anybody else backing me with Timber instead of Zinchenko?
Yeah, you haven't heard my lineup.
What's your
Right.
lineup?
I'll play back three, and I'll play Timber and Partey in front of the back three, so that Timber can actually assist Partey in that midfield area. I won't say he's a midfielder, but I'll just play him as a double pivot. But then I'll play Sterling because of his experience right in front of them for pace, and I'll explain what I'm saying. Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and I'll play Havertz and Jesus up front. The reason I'm playing two pacey players, which is Martinelli and Raheem Sterling in this game, is we don't have a midfield. But our defense is solid because Timber can drop back to left back. We can play that back four when we soak, and they like to play a high line. So when we soak in that defense, when we actually need to break, we actually have two very fast-paced players that can counter them immediately. I think for this game, we should play to our strength, which is our defense, and try to use the counter on them. And if we can do that, and even if we don't score from a counter, if we get set pieces in good areas, they're very bad at set pieces. We're very good at set pieces. We try to play.
No, they're not anymore. They got a new set piece.
I know, but they're not as okay. So when you say they're not anymore, they haven't gone from being the terrible set piece team to just being this most wonderful in 3 games. What I'm saying is they fixed up a little bit. We've seen that Vicario doesn't collect the ball very well as well. That is something that we've noticed with their players. They play a high line. So I'm saying play to our strength and play to their weaknesses. If you don't have a midfield, what you need to do is take the players that you have, find a way to say, okay, if I have pace from 2 players, these 2 players can drop into the midfield there. We soak up the attack, let them play their high line, and we can break fast.
Do you have Havertz in the 10 or in?
I have Havertz and Jesus. I'm playing a 4-4-2 basically, literally. But I have Havertz and Jesus up front since Jesus is back. Jesus will cost them a lot of chaos.
One more time.
I'm playing Martinelli. Okay, so I'm doing this is what I'm doing. Havertz, Jesus, and I'm doing Martinelli, Partey, Sterling, and Saka. In that, but Sterling is going to be more or less. I won't call him an 8 because in my formation I'm going to break into a back 3.
Wait. Martinelli, Sterling, or Saka?
I'm playing both of them. So my lineup is
who's getting dropped?
What do you mean who's getting dropped?
I'm slapping Trossard.
Trossard is not in yet because I need pace. I'm saying, hear what I'm saying.
You have a midfield too.
I have a midfield 3. Sterling is going to play as a triangle, like right under the base of Partey and Timber. Timber is inverting, right? And I'll play back 3. Timber inverts with Partey. Sterling plays right behind Jesus and Havertz. Jesus and Havertz are my 2. Sterling is going to play down that middle.
Like you're playing a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, more or less. But when we're attacking, it'll become a 3-2-3-2, a 3-2-3-2 when I'm attacking. So I'll have Martinelli on the wing, Saka on the wing, Sterling down the middle. So there's pace, Jesus and Havertz up front.
Okay, so you replace the left back with an additional attacker.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I was confused because it seemed like you had too many attackers on the pitch.
Yeah, I replace the left back because they'll play high line. And once we score, then I can bring in Calafiori and the rest of them and just close shop. I have good defenders on the bench. And I have players, but I just need us to go score first because if we score first, they will keep playing the high line.
What's the chances Arteta goes to a back 3? Mark, what are you saying? What's your lineup?
I would play.
Do you know something? I think the back 3 is an option. Defense is our strongest thing. So if we went to White, Saliba, Gabriel as a back three, and then Partey just in front of them defending, and then a 4 in front of them with Havertz up front, then I think it's something. But as Dio said there, I think his lineup is absolutely brilliant. I love that. I think we need to change. The point that I was trying to make with doing the formation I was doing was just that we don't have to play a 4-3-3 in this game. We don't have to do that. And if Arteta is going to be the coach that I think he is, then we have to adapt to the situation that we currently face and bring the best out of the players that we possibly have. So, yeah, I honestly, that is a lot better than mine. And I love that. If I was going to play the 3, Igal, just to answer your previous question, it would definitely be Zinchenko, Partey and Havertz. That would have been my 3 in midfield by far. But however, that was a lot better take than what I had. So totally agree. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh, so you agree 100% with Deo? You play
Yeah,
back.
100%. Yeah.
I'll change it up, Igal, because the problem I have is if I were a coach, the problem I have is everybody knows how I play, and now my players are injured and they're out. If
everyone agrees with this comment, Jorginho and Partey.
No, those two, I can't play both of them at the same time. If I don't have Ødegaard in the team, I can't play both of them at the same time. You know,
I said this last night. Ange plays a high line, and you need speed. You need pace to get beyond that. Dyer has just absolutely nailed it 100%, and I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree.
Big up. How do I pronounce this guy's name?
Stacks.
Stacks. Just say Stacks. I think it's Stacks. The K might be silent. Ask him. Stacks.
Right, big up Stacks. So Partey and Jorginho is a no-go. Everyone agrees? Seems like everyone agrees.
I disagree. I disagree.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit and pretend I know because I'm not the manager. That's the manager's job, so I'll probably leave that.
Hey, Dylan, it's your opinion, not the manager's opinion. You are the manager.
And I think I'll just leave it to him. To be honest,
But if you were the manager, Dylan, if today you got hired and like Arteta out, Dylan is the new manager for Arsenal FC. All right, Arsenal,
Here we go.
Dylan has now received his contract and he's signing the contract for 80 million for the next 5 years. Dylan is going to be the highest paid manager. How would you line up against the North London derby?
Okay, cool. Well, Aaron Ramsdale's gone now, so David Rising.
Would you play Partey and Jorginho in the North London derby?
Ramsdale's gone to Rising goal. It'd be Gabriel and Saliba. Actually, no, you know what? I'm running it back. You know how? Why are we overthinking Tottenham? Like, City. Okay, right. City away is a different game, but we will talk about it another time. Tottenham, I'll probably stick with a normal back 4. Timber left back. Oh no, but they haven't even got pace on the wings. Oh no, Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson's
I'll go Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Timber. Probably go with I'll go with Havertz.
You're taking too long.
Partey and Jorginho with Saka, Sterling, and Trossard. Maybe Jesus.
So you have Jorginho and Partey, yes or no?
Yeah, I would.
That's all I was asking.
Yeah. Stay, man.
I mean, you know this.
I don't know, man. It's not ideal.
There's many ways to win this. I think the thing is, if I would not try to.
Neither of them can run. They're immobile.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm not going to talk about Partey's speed and Jorginho. What I mean is like, there's many ways to win this. But what I would not advise that Arteta try to do is replicate the first 11 that he has with this type of injuries. When you don't have a player that can play just like Ødegaard and can fill in that position and create as much as Ødegaard. Look, so think about this. Ødegaard creates so many chances, yet we miss so many chances. Now we don't have a player that can even create up to him. So even if we bring somebody in and they're creating half the chances that he creates, we might still not be able to put those away. So the question remains, do you change your dynamic of playing totally as a team for this one game, which is, lean on your defense, which is your strongest point. Luckily, you're playing a team that likes to play a high line and likes to control the ball and push forward, and then try to lean on the players that can actually counter. And
my thing is, the only reason I think Arteta might play Jorginho and Partey, but with our strategy potentially being suffering and not having the ball too much away in some of these big games, would it be smart to have Jorginho, who's not one of the best off the ball, and Thomas Partey, who is getting a little bit older and has shown at times off the ball he's not as good as he was in his early
If you
years.
if you lean on your defense and you put George, if you're going to play a defensive game, like if we are going to park the bus and hope that we can get a goal from either a set piece, a counter, or something, and maybe not from open play, then yeah, if you're going to play Jorginho and Partey in front of a back four of say Calafiori or no Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and White, then you're building a wall. I mean, the thing is, we've seen that Arsenal, without the ball, we're able to limit teams to take shots against us. If we can limit them from taking shots against us, if we can limit them from scoring, we know that we have many other ways that we can score. They only score one way, which is the high line. They press and they press and they press and they come from the wings. So if we can actually counter a little bit, get ourselves in spaces where we can get good set pieces, get ourselves in positions where we can actually even just score an open play goal, boom, or get ourselves in a position where we get a penalty.
Dak comes back with another one. I'm actually not mad. I'm just seeing the perfect chance to stand up and be counted. Law of the game, lads. Effing go. Let's effing go. I'm confused. Did I miss something?
I understand. He's saying this is a perfect chance for us to stand up and be counted. This is a perfect chance for Mikel Arteta to say, without my starting 11, I'm still going to win games. Because this is what champions are supposed to do if you want to be a champion. If you cannot go out there,
guys. This is where we talk about the game.
100%.
Forget about the midfield. Forget about the attack. What's going to happen in the game, guys?
It's a derby. There's going to be emotions.
I think it's going to be a much better game than it's been in recent years. We've wiped the floor with them in the last 2 years. I think the 2-0, we just wiped the floor with them. The last year, it looked flattering, the 3-2. It was a 4-0 game, but like David Raya mistake and a penalty, like we made it look respectable. Last year was a battering as well. I think this year
they could have drawn.
It could genuinely be like a
but
really
they didn't.
tough game.
Yeah, they didn't. They did not. They could have, woulda, shoulda. Like,
by the way, we have 160 people here. Do me a favor, hit that like button. I'm just gonna say, guys, I sense the apprehension, a little bit of nerves from some of you guys. You don't seem confident. So you're confident.
Yeah, man.
You're confident, Shaq. You confident?
Yeah, because you know what happens, right?
I'm not confident. I'm not confident on winning. I will say that much. I don't think we're gonna lose, because I don't know. That Spurs attack.
I'm gonna bring it back to Souls in a second. Sorry, bro. I'm just asking everyone. Mark, are you confident for Spurs?
Yeah, I'm confident. I want Arteta changes it.
Dylan,
if I wasn't confident, I wouldn't be going to the game. I think we win.
Deo, I already know Deo's confident.
It's 2-0. It's 2-0, and I'm even predicting. I'm that confident. 2-0.
All right, Souls, what are you saying?
Hey, listen, Raheem gave me a dream, and that dream's about to come true. That Premier League is coming home, and my brother's bringing it home. Jamaican man on a vengeance, I'm telling you now. This is different. Woo! Yeah. The only disappointing is we don't have Ramsdale, because Ramsdale's antics even on the bench would have been perfect for this game. But hey, who knows? What if we made a secret, Black Ops mission to Dubai that no one knew about, and we come back? You know what Dubai does to these players. So who knows, man? Who knows? A bit of warm weather training. So yeah, man, look. I'm not even about it. We've cleared our systems. We've had cupping done. We've detoxed our system. Now it's just time. Let's just go batter them. Let's go batter City. Let's just go win this Premier League, man.
That's the thing. Like, I honestly speaking, right, I still look at the players that we have right now and their quality. Like, I'm not, do you understand? Like, they are quality players if you play them and play to their strengths. That's how you win games. Their quality. The problem most Arsenal fans have is they want Mikel Arteta to have like for each position so that you can replicate that first 11 when you have injuries. But sometimes you might just need to change it up a little bit. The opposition team doesn't know what's going to hit them because they're used to seeing us play a certain way. We play another way. We use our strengths and bam, get out of there. It's about the 3 points at the end of the day. That's all I care about. It's about the 3 points, So we'll play to our strengths. We're defensively more solid. So I think that if we play defensively more solid, hit them on the counter, and if you want to do in a different way, you can play Martinelli first to keep running against the defenders there on counters, tire them out. Second half, bring in Raheem Sterling to come and continue the ragdolling. you run that guy out, and towards the end of it, you bring in the technical Trossard. If you haven't scored, the defender is tired. Trossard doesn't have to run that much with him anymore. Just needs to bypass his man one time, and we know what can happen. So There are many ways to win this game. I think we can. I think we'll do it. I don't even think I know we will do it. We're winning this game.
I agree, 100%.
Talk to me, Mark.
I just think, do you know what? I think that we do have, last season we had probably a good 13, 14 players, and I think that we've got better than that. My only frustration is going back to transfer window, and it is defensive. Like, and the injuries are just hitting us in the wrong place. Arguably, what team could cope with losing their best midfield? Mourinho's out. Mourinho's out, Rice is out, and also Ødegaard. I mean, what team in the planet could live with that? But this is where we see the best of Arteta.
Man City.
Could they though?
Could Liverpool win a game with 3 of their top midfielders out?
I don't think so.
Many
They literally won the Carabao Cup final last year with a team of under 23s.
Many teams can't. Egal, this is football. Anything can happen. And this Man City that I hear people talking about, please. I played them 3 times last year, and they did not beat me in any of the 3 games. That's number 1. Number 2, I played with Eddie Nketiah on the pitch last season against them, and they did not beat me on the. They did not.
There's
beat
one
me.
more question we have to go
So,
after the
let's
super
not do
chat. If it comes down to these games, on the winning side, how proud am I?
If we come out of this game on the winning side, you know how proud I'm gonna be. Like, bro, I'm confident than ever. I want them to step the fuck up.
Yeah,
Come on, Stacks.
This guy.
I got a question for you, yeah. I got a quick question for you. I got a quick question.
Stacks got me hyped. Stacks got me hyped.
You
guys, my
lot
big
quickly,
section
yeah.
is kicking in. My bad.
Right. Right. If I offered you 4 points right now, yeah, for the next 2 games, City and Spurs, obviously you take them. But
I'm taking it.
No,
Call me
yeah, you're
crazy.
taking
I'm
it.
taking it.
Obviously, right.
no, I'm not taking it.
If you're
I
giving
want
me 4
six.
points right now from
Anyway,
City
what's it
away
called?
and
Let
Spurs
him ask.
at
Let him
home.
ask.
I
Let
want
him ask this
6,
question.
man.
Let him ask this question.
Yeah. Which game would you win and which game would you draw?
I'm winning both.
You're not winning both, bruv.
No, he's
Yeah.
Saul, hear what he's saying. Saul,
Yeah.
hear what he's
For the
saying.
If
title-
you
for the
could
title
draw
race-
one and win one,
for the
which
title
one
race-
would you prefer to win,
For the
City or
title
Spurs?
race, I'd rather beat City.
He's asking he's asking a hypothetical to say, let's just say we've seen the future,
Because
and
a
in
draw
one of these
away
games we're
at
going to
Spurs,
draw,
not the end of
and
the
then
world.
one to win. Which would
I'm
you prefer to
defying the
win? Which would
future
you
now.
prefer to draw?
I'm defying
If
the
you
future.
are
I'm
determining
changing
the
it.
future,
No, Saul, we're just
I'm becoming Doctor Strange. Like that time.
if you're
is
determining the
getting
future,
changed.
and
Call me
there's
Thanos if you
and the
want
only
to.
outcome is you win one, you draw one. Which one would you rather win?
I'm turning into Doctor Strange and changing the whole
You're
reality.
doing nothing of the sort, man.
I would choose beating City in the title race. I would
I
choose
would take
beating
that.
City.
But you want to win the Premier League
No,
or the
but
North London
when we don't
Derby?
win the league, we're gonna go.
No.
back
We're
to the
saying no.
Spurs
Saul.
We'll go back
Hear
and
what
say,
we're saying. Saul, listen to what we're
only if
saying.
we won that game.
Hey, can you
You know
stop
what I mean,
first for a
kind of
second and
thing.
listen to what he said? He said, in a hypothetical world,
Mm.
we're not saying that this is what it is. He's saying everybody wants 6 points. We've all agreed on that. But we're now saying in a hypothetical world, just a random question to say, if you were going to lose one of these games and win one of them, in a season where we agree that let's just say we win the league this season, regardless of the outcome of these 2 matches, but you're going to get 4 points. Who would you rather beat? Would you rather beat your derby, the London derby, where you hate Tottenham, or would you rather beat the 4 peak winners, which is City? It's just like, which would you choose? That's all he's saying. He's not saying
do you know what? Do you know what the problem with that question is here? Because I'm just thinking it from a practical sense. Yes, okay, if I had to choose, beat Man City, draw against Tottenham. But what if we actually do end up going and drawing against Tottenham? Are you really going to have confidence? Are the players really going to have confidence that we're going to then go to City and beat them? That's the problem. So I understand, okay, as a hypothetical, beat City, draw against Tottenham, innit? But I think both results go hand in hand for me. Do you know what I mean?
But here's what we're saying. Like, I'm not talking here. We're just saying that let's assume that we've seen the future, and in these games we're going to lose one and we're going to draw one and win one. Who would you prefer? It's all it is. It doesn't matter to me what the mentality of the players is or the state of. I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to get a win, 4 points in these 2 games, I would beat City away. I would rather beat City away and tie with City. That's all.
But you guys do realize what would happen.
Nearly 10 years ago, 2015, January.
1 second, we got 2 more super chats. Timber comes into the midfield versus Spurs. Player of the match is Saka also. POT. What's POT? Is that player of the match or?
I would imagine it is.
I know what POT means. Pot Saka. I don't know what pots. Hold on. Nonto, what's POT?
It's player of the match. It's got to be.
Potentially Saka
He might
also.
have missed out the end still. He might have missed out the end.
He said no. He said
Potentially,
potentially.
yeah,
He said
potentially
potentially.
Saka
He just clarified. He said
Oh,
potentially.
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 Yeah.
Saka in midfield.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play in the wing. There's no way he's playing the midfield. I think he's gonna. Lamau has basically made that in swinging cross very popular. I think Saka's game is going to be a lot of swinging crosses in this game. We also have another super chat from Stars. Deo, you want to read this for me?
It says, "Hell no, we're not settling. I don't care. Win them all. I'd rather we win both. We don't want to. We don't want to hear no what if. So I plead the fifth. No answer. Slap them both the F off. Okay, Case Stacks. I agree. I like yesterday. Yesterday I said 6 points. Right, Igal. That's what I stand on. But we're having just for conversation's sake. We're saying if you win the league this season and you had to draw, let's say we win the league this season, but you had to draw a game and win a game against Tottenham or City. Who would you rather choose to draw against? Who would you rather? But you win the league. But you win the league.
If you're saying we're going to win the league regardless, I'd rather win at Spurs. Do you not realise? Yeah, if we win at Spurs at the weekend, we would have won more at their ground than they've won at the Emirates, and we've been at the Emirates since 2000.
Is that a trophy? Is that a trophy?
No, but we are getting a trophy though. We are going to get a trophy anyway.
The guy who's happy to be Arteta for another decade is talking about trophies. What?
No, I'm just saying. It's like if it's your question, a North London derby doesn't give me a trophy whatsoever. So for me, it's got to be Man City. Beat Man City away, the confidence in the side. Wow. Moving on.
One thing we learned from last year. One thing we learned from last year. If it means winning the league, people don't give a shit if Tottenham win or lose.
Exactly.
That's one thing we know. Yeah. So
we don't care. We don't care what they do.
As long as they don't beat us, you know what I mean? But yeah. And then finally, the final thing. Everyone give me their score predictions.
We're going to win 2-1.
2-1. Mark.
3-0.
Deo.
Win.
2-0.
2-0. We got another one from Stack. I'm fully getting a book and
fine. No, he said fine. I'll get a book and draw both of them taking an L. Stacks is on one today. Stacks, whatever you're drinking, man, just put it in the chat so I can
just
go look for it.
People make speculation that it's not my burner account. Yeah.
Whatever it is that you drinking, Stacks is putting the.
Miguel supported Spurs last season. Real top Gunner fan. LOL. By the way, I supported Arsenal to win the league. I don't give a fuck about Spurs.
I didn't care about them.
Spurs winning one game versus Man City to help Arsenal win the league. Are you fucking crazy?
No, fuck them. I don't care. We should have won it on our own.
I know, but
if Spurs beat Man City at any point to help us win the goddamn league, of course I'm going to be cheering them on.
Let me say this right. See, Souls, even if we win it on our own, Tottenham fans will find a way to make themselves relevant to how we want it. They will come out and say, "Well, it's because we helped you beat."
We're celebrating when they
lost. If that's the case, then let them talk. Let them talk, because we will be the one with the trophy. We will be the one with showing the armpits. Let them talk, blood.
Let them. That's what I'm saying. Like,
useless club. Honestly,
I don't care. Let them say what they want.
I don't know how they can have any chat for us, man.
I'm actually gonna go with a 2-0 clean sheet. I think we're gonna win. We're gonna play defensive. We're gonna smash and grab 2 goals, and then play solid defensively and shut it out for the rest of the game. Mark, you said what was your score?
I'm going 3-0.
3-0. Ooh.
Mark wants us to beat.
We got Mark 2-0s. We got 3-0 from Mark. Dylan, what's your score?
It's a 2-1. We're going to win 2-1.
2-1. Souls?
Raheem debut goal. Let's go.
1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. Raheem Sterling, 97th minute. Just breaks the heart of all Spurs fans. I want them to be
97th minute.
I want the same at the Etihad. I just want a 1-0 in the last kick of the game. Raheem Sterling in both the games. I'm telling you, man, I want the Jamaican vengeance. I want it. Give it me.
97-minute winner.
In both games. I want it to be the last.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? That is driving a stake into the heart of a vampire. Listen, as much as I want a 2 of what Saul just said right now.
A late winner sounds
listen,
good,
listen,
but I don't want
what
the stress
Saul
of the
just said
whole
right
game.
now.
I like
that's
it's like
96
one
minutes
second,
of heartache.
my
I'm
heart
not
can't
prepared for
handle the
that, man.
stress.
No,
My heart
I'm
can't
not
handle
prepared
the
for that.
stress. I want a comfortable win.
Yeah.
No, like you said,
Shaq, what are you saying?
hypothetical. We dictate the future,
I'm
right?
saying 1-1 still.
I won. Yeah, both
1-1.
games.
my heart
Man
can't
said
take
draw.
it.
Oh my God.
Shaq,
What
you're
are you
young,
saying
man.
to this
You're a
team
young
if
man,
you're
man. What do
saying
you mean your
draw?
heart can't take? You're a young man. You should
Sorry,
be able
guy?
to handle. I thought you're a
If
young
you're
man. You
saying
should
we're
be able
gonna
to
draw
handle 96 minutes.
versus Tottenham, what's gonna happen in the City game?
Every game is different, Egal. Let's not do this. Let's not. I don't. Why do we do this
Let's get
narrative?
over
It's
this one and then we'll
I
talk.
think
why do we
another.
do this?
Do you know what?
That narrative
All
is
right,
You know
guys,
what?
we're gonna
Do you know
wrap
what?
it up there. We're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah,
We got 171 of you guys in the chat right now. Big up to
Egal,
all you guys.
let me
Do
ask you a
favor.
question. Do you remember? Do
Please
you remember
hit
last
that like
season?
button. I just want to give a shout out to John, Anime Fanatic, Stacks. Big up to Stacks, big supporter today on the video. Really do appreciate all the super chats from all you guys. You guys are the ones that keeping the channel going. Also, big up to you right here, Noso Obi. Big up to Noso Obi. And we're out of here, people. You guys have a good day. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm gonna bring a couple Spurs rivals on to hear what they have to say about their team. And we're gonna grill them a little bit. But also, make sure you guys do subscribe. We're so close to 130K 30K subscribers. We're so close to 30K subscribers. So please do join the channel right now and subscribe. And also, I'm gonna be sending you over to Saad's channel. What I need you guys to do is do me a favor. When you head over to Saad's channel, he has a Liverpool fan there. Tell them that Liverpool ain't shit. By the way, tell them that.
Super chat coming.
Wait, super chat coming?
Yeah, just again. Stacks
damn.
again. Just before
Stacks is, I'm scoring is nothing but a win.
My
What?
score is nothing but a win.
No matter what, got money on my mind.
I can never give it up.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna send you over to Stacks. No. I'm gonna send you over to Saad's
we're all
channel.
coming to your house.
I'm gonna send you over to Saad's channel. Do me a favor. Just say grape and mint. Just say grape and mint. He will understand. You don't even have to understand. Just say grape and mint. That's it.
Grape and mint.
Anyways, we're out of here, people. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Okay.